Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Looking to get better. How are we going to do that? We got to control the golf ball. Wanted to run you through a little exercise I like to do to help players understand, you know, what's going to make the ball curve and ultimately what's going to make the ball go relatively straight. Okay, so I got the TrackMan in here, just working on sort of three-quarter type swings, but trying to manage how much the ball's curving. Okay, so when we're looking at curve, we're looking at the difference between club path and club face. Okay, so we're looking at the difference between those. So that's going to produce the spin axis. That's how much the ball's tilting and curving in this flight. Okay, so I'm going to start with, let's see if I go, I'm going to start with a relatively high spin axis. So I'm going to hit it out to the right, get it to curve back. Things that obviously the difference between club path and club face are going to help me put that sort of spin onto the ball, the curve onto the ball. What I'm looking to do is, when I'm doing this, in the exaggerated form, I'm having the face very closed, okay? So I have it very close to where my stance line is, okay? So there's that white pin out there, looking to produce a really big spin axis from the right to left. So I'm gonna start closed with the face quite a bit hooded, still aimed a little right of the target, but not much. And then I'm making sure that path comes from here to get a big spin axis. To the left, okay? So that one starting out to the right, really curving back. It'll be interesting to see that number. So that's a spin axis of 36 to the left, okay? So a massive amount of curve from the right to the left. And then what I like to do for this one is just sort of try to keep knocking that down. So I'm gonna aim a little less, and then I'm gonna do the same sort of feel and then try to knock some of that spin axis off that golf ball, just to keep training my brain of, okay, what's it feel like? I'm curious to see what that one was. So that was 18, so I sort of cut that one in half, and then sort of work your way back. Okay, so I'll go even a little less here in three-quarter. I'm going three-quarter swings here. So that one's not going to be a lot of spin axis. I didn't twist the face quite as much as I came through, but let's see what that one is. Still a path of 10, so the spin axis down to 4.9. Obviously the path and face got a little closer to there, so that kept reducing it. If I go all the way back to neutral, okay, so now I'm back into a square-ish setup, trying to just draw that circle in a relatively neutral movement. Okay, that might be sort of close to zero, maybe slightly to the right spin axis, I'm guessing. So I got the path down to almost neutral, and I got that spin axis down to 1, okay? So I like this drill. Obviously it's gonna take a bit of time, but it's gonna start to teach you what is making the ball curve, okay? So then your body can put a feel to that. You can start, I like starting with extremes and then working back. I find it a lot harder to bring the face and path really neutral, okay? When you spread them apart, okay? So the first one, it's like, okay, the face can be really close, the path can be really to the right, just so I can really get that ball to curve. I find that a lot easier. As you start bringing things a little bit closer, we want to make sure, obviously, the ball's reaction is going to give us some feedback. Also, how are we going to do that? We're going to make sure that at address, the face is relatively square. My stance is relatively square. Some people are going to aim a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left to produce that very neutral type of shot. But again, starting with the big curve, sort of working yourself back into neutral, a great way to do it, a great way to sense the difference. And obviously on this one, I really feel like I'm doing a lot of that to get the ball to curve. When I start to get into here, I'm still releasing it 100%, but maybe not quite as aggressive. And then obviously if I'm fading it, it might even feel a little bit the other way where I'm holding that face off just a touch, okay? So you can work through that. Really fun way to do it. Use your imagination. Work on how much can you curve it and sort of work it in, and then sort of you can go all the way. I could go fades and then try to work it in again. Great way to give you a bit more feel, bit more control, obviously help you get out of troubled situations if that happens. Obviously when you're out there playing, be able to work it around a tree, have control of that golf ball, have a couple more tools in your tool belt when you're playing around the course. Hope that helps, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.